gonna be calling Shannon High.
Downey, this is your team. Please meet us at Dairy Queen. We miss you, Downey. Please. Please come home, Downey.
My name is Shannon High, and I'm running to be your junior class president.
Whoa, where'd the seat cushion go?
Welcome back, everyone. Another episode of The Shan Show, the best military kids podcast. Today, we have a returning guest. It's his fourth time on the podcast. It is Mr. Andrew Chowder Barnes is back on the pod. How's it going, my man?
Everything's great, man.
Just another day on The Shannon Show.
Another day on the Shannon Show. Great place to be.
Yes. You were one of the very first. You were episode 10. You're like the 10th or 11th. I think it was 11. So I mean, I always have some of the OGs come back. It's always pretty fun. And you popped out at all the trials as well. The most recent one not being one of my favorites. Not gonna lie to you, I get some pretty negative reviews.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. Do you think that was a just trial, Andrew?
Absolutely. Every trial is conducted with the utmost respect.
Right. I want to make it an annual thing. I'm not sure what we could do for this year. I'm not sure if we could top our past two, but the trials are fun. It is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Just bringing up old shit from high school, makes for good content. If you go back and rewatch that though, Johnny's pretty biased. There are some pretty egregious questions being asked that I think could make for an appeal.
Hey, maybe. We shall see. We shall see. I don't want to confirm nor deny.
Okay. I see. Well, the real reason we have you on here, Andrew, is because you've just, showed everyone a little bit of your musical talents, your prowess, a little bit of your savvy by releasing an album that I want to talk about. It's pretty unique in that I don't want to butcher the genre for you. On Apple Music, called it breakbeat. Is that how you would define it?
So it's like drum and bass and breakcore music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But Apple Music's presets for their genre are pretty bad.
Pretty bad. There's not a lot of options for you?
No. I mean, yeah,
Well, what are you trying to say? Are you judging me because I listen to it on Apple Music?
No, I mean.
No? Okay.
I mean,
I didn't know.
I don't want to go there just yet, at least, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. How's the release been for you? Was there a whole lot of anticipation? Were you just pretty chill about it, not thinking too much?
Well, I actually made most of the album over Christmas break, so
Gotcha.
it was just a lot of inspiration, a lot of just hard work, just putting in the hours, and
Yeah.
I was excited. I was really happy with how it turned out.
Yeah. Was there? I mean, I guess because this is the first one you've released, if I'm not mistaken, right? This is the first time you've
Yeah.
done something like this. So there's no real pressure on you. It's just kind of making whatever you feel like, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah.
yeah. No, go ahead. So you have the freedom to go anywhere with this. There's no expectations. What made you want to go in the direction you did? And how would you describe it? Just give me a big general summary.
So the direction I took with
Mhm.
kind of with picking the genre and kind of the
Yeah.
way of making the music and stuff, I was just really inspired by a lot of breakcore artists and drum and bass music, and that was just what I
Yeah.
was listening to a lot of. So I was try to make some. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like a really hard thing to just make from scratch though. Because it's also a lot different than people might think of a regular song. You got the vocals, you got people singing and stuff. And you do have a beautiful singing voice. I do remember that. However, you did not utilize it in this. Do you feel what was the reason for that?
So I'm actually in a band too,
Oh.
and I do vocals for that band. I've been doing that for probably this is 2 years, coming up on the 2-year mark, yeah. And I never really gotten into doing actual production and stuff like that, really getting deep in the instrumentals. And I kind of wanted to challenge myself and do that for the album, just make it a whole instrumental album.
So how do you get started with something like this? You got the clean slate. Are you always constantly looking for inspiration? Are you looking for a certain sample to put in with it? Or I just don't imagine how I would even start a project like that.
So for the most part, I pretty much just find a cool sound, a cool synth, cool kick drum, a cool pattern in my brain or whatever. I just put it down and I just kind of go from there. I just expand it, try to you know, like breakcore and drum and bass. Like generally, I don't want to like say say this and kind of like misrepresent it, but you kind of
Mhm.
just put a lot of shit in there. You just you just kind of put a lot of shit in there. Yeah.
So you just kind of like throwing shit on the wall and seeing what sticks? Like you just trying to like see what works?
So for me, I really like just really deep and really thick music, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Like a lot of different instruments and just all coming together, make it really atmospheric.
Mhm.
Um, and at least with my album, I tried to kind of focus on that and try to just really stick to like, okay, here's my like four different like piano sounds or whatever,
Mhm.
and then I go from there, make chord progression, all that stuff, and then just kind of expand the songs from there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't mind, I kind of want to talk about, song at a time. We have to get into too much detail because I know, well, first of all, everyone needs to go listen to it. So if you guys want to go listen to it and then come back and we'll talk about the album itself, that would be awesome. We put all the
Yeah.
links and everything so they can stream it wherever, including Apple Music, my personal favorite. Yeah, go ahead and follow the Shan Show on there too. It's whatever. Non Apple Music, Apple Podcast, whatever. But do you want to go in order of how they are in the album or how you made them, or doesn't matter to you?
We can just go down the track list. Yeah.
Let's do it then. I'm glad we live in this hell together. It's I'm just gonna tell you my notes, and then you can tell me what you think. If that, well,
Mhm.
what you think, will just like the process for you. But it's very upbeat for me. It seems like a really good introduction for the album. Like it's a good first track. Like I heard it, I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. Like I don't listen to a lot of this genre, but it made a lot of sense for me just right off the bat. Um, it kind of, what it kind of reminds me of, Andrew? It's like video game music to me. It's like I'm playing a video game, and it's just like the soundtrack. That's kind of what it is.
If you'll believe me,
Mhm.
like you have no idea how many people tell me that I make video game music. It's just
Is that
it's
an
it.
insult? Is that a bad thing?
I mean, I don't think so. I play a lot of video games,
Yeah,
so I could see how my music could go there, but
I feel
I
like
don't
it
know.
would fit really well. Yeah,
I never really consciously thought about it like that.
yeah. But that song in particular, what was your inspiration?
So for that song,
Hmm.
believe so that song is featuring one of my friends, Carter.
Hmm.
Yeah. So we really just sat down. I just started making this beat, and I'd really been into like a lot of like piano stuff, and that was kind of towards the beginning. That was one of the
Hmm.
first songs I made, and I just made that piano, and I thought it was I thought it was
Yeah,
beautiful, dude. I thought it was beautiful, and then the rest is history. We just finished that joint up.
gotcha.
It's great.
So when do you recognize in the process that it's something that's good and something that you want to keep? Because I'm sure like there's a whole lot of variations and like is it just like constantly trial and error?
So, at least for me, my process is I kind of want to get like a 8 or 16 bar loop down, and then
Hmm.
you kind of build the song around that loop.
Okay.
So you kind of change things around, kind of structure the song from there. So it's mostly right when you finish that like loop is right when you're like, okay, this is either fire or this shit is ass, you know?
Okay. Gotcha.
And there's no in between.
There's no. Okay. Well, oh, I didn't name the album for everyone, by the way. What's worth worrying about? And then your name on there is Bridges,
Yep.
just so everyone knows. So there's no
Bridges.
confusion in fighting this. There you go. Next track, Resolve Second. I think this might be my second favorite one. In the whole thing, just for me personally. I really like the opening. It's kind of I don't know if it's like somber, like the very first few notes, or
Hmm.
and then before it picks up is just like it really brought me in for it. But what's your take on this one?
So that one is, I believe, the oldest song on the
Okay.
album. I think that was, yeah. Pretty sure I made that one actually. I'm pretty sure I made that one in Chicago. I went to go visit
Oh.
Natalie actually,
Hmm.
and then I think I made that one in
In
Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah,
That's a story.
yeah,
There you go.
yeah, yeah. Hey, but yeah, pretty much back then. I mean, feels like a really long time ago, but it really wasn't that long ago. That one, I don't know.
Yeah,
something special about the piano and the flute in that one. It's just
yeah,
amazing. Yeah, I really like that one too.
yeah. So you said when did you visit Natalie? How long ago was that? Because like you said, it wasn't that
Uh,
long ago.
it must have been. I think it was the week of. It was a week right before Christmas.
Yeah, so this is all
Yeah.
like pretty recent. And you've been making music for, have you been making music like this before the album?
So yeah,
Hmm.
I'd say the first like drum and bass slash breakcore like beat that I made was probably what's today? The 29th. Probably like 3 months ago.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, just the fact that you've been able to make an album after starting only 3 months ago, that's kind of cool, right? Does that feel cool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it feels great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the next one, I believe you dropped it before the album, was with you collaborated with someone else. I don't remember his name. I didn't write it down. If you want to go ahead and give him a shout out.
Yeah. J Bridge.
Jay Bridge, okay.
J Bridge over the
Um,
crap.
this one, I believe, is also the longest one. It was over 6 minutes long. What's number three track? What is this one for you?
This one is actually it's pretty special to me. I feel like,
Hmm.
obviously, like yeah, like you said, I released that one right before the album came out as kind of
Yeah,
like a hype single or something.
yeah,
But that's my second favorite song on the album.
gotcha.
That one was really cool. Um, just messing around on the piano, Then I went over to my
Hmm.
computer, um, started making that loop down that I was talking about earlier, and then my friend Carter he finished it, and then I was like, "Yo,
Yeah,
yo!" But yeah, the name disassociated or dispossessed slash disassociated.
yeah.
Uh, it's like that because I did entirely the first half of the song, and then he did the second half of the song. So we
Hmm.
decided to have like the two names and then the slash kind of
Yeah.
signify that kind
It's
of.
like the first half and second half. Gotcha.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. Next one we got Force Report. I don't have too much on this one. Anything special for you here?
that one's also a really old one. That
Yeah.
one's yeah, that was probably the second second oldest one. Yeah.
Hmm. Gotcha. And then Adventure Show. I like this one. I like this one a lot. It kind of reminded me of playing Geometry Dash when I was a kid. Once again, video game music.
Adventure Show is cool. That one, that one was interesting. Yeah, I remember. We stayed at my friend's house, and then I was just making this in the studio, and it's just a fun time. And the name Adventure Show is because my friend
Yeah.
told me we were talking about Adventure Time and regular show, and then slap them together, and that's that.
There you go. Whenever like
Yeah.
I say these songs, can you like hear them like in your head? Like I'm assuming you've worked so much with them.
Yeah,
That
yeah. I
I think that's
pretty much
also
memorize every.
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
because usually whenever you think of song, you think of like the words, like there's something catchy in there, and the fact that you can hear just the beat or the drums or the piano, something stands out to you. That's different, guys. That's good content. There you go. Servant. Period. All these end with period, by the way. Is there a reason for that? You're a big punctuation guy?
not really. No,
No.
can't say that I am. Uh, I don't know. I think I just like the aesthetic of the period at the end of
Yeah.
the song. Yeah,
Gotcha.
but Servant's cool. It's pretty basic. It's just like
Hmm.
a piano beat with some drums and stuff. That one's also one that I made. One's also a little older.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I like that one. It's all right. It's not one of my
Yeah.
favorites, I'd say, but that was a good one. That was kind of
Gotcha.
like the transition into like the newer style of stuff that I was making.
Yeah. These last three, I think, are really good. I think they go together really well. Right back where I started, I'm done. This one kind of felt like floating through space a little bit. That's what I wrote. That's just kind of what I felt. I thought this one was pretty cool.
Um, so that one's actually interesting.
Hmm.
So that song, the that that night I made the song, I had like a mental breakdown, and I was like, dude, fuck this shit. Like I'm done with like music and like making this stuff. Like I was like rage quitting, and it was probably like 7 o'clock in the morning, and then I just threw together like this beat, and I was like, let's just try to make this like however I'm feeling right now, and then I
Yeah.
did, um, and I think it actually turned out pretty cool. There's some cool effects
Yeah.
on there. And then I ended up finishing it and then going to work the next day. 0 hours of sleep. Oh man.
That's tough. That's tough. That's a great story for it, though. Just the fact that you have such a strong memory associated with it. I mean, that's what makes things special. The
Yeah.
next one's my favorite. Euphoria, as I'm assuming how it's pronounced.
Yep.
That one, I feel like I could just like walk around and just listen to that and feel pretty cool, pretty spunky. What do you think?
Euphoria is really cool, actually. That one, oh man, yeah, that's also it's some of my favorite, some of my friends' favorite songs on the album was
Yeah,
Euphoria. Um, but yeah, that one was just really cool because I try to make like a trap kind of like a rap beat kind of melody, and then
yeah,
put put a shit ton of drums into it. And I think I actually really like that one too.
yeah.
Mm.
So I'm assuming your favorite is "Welcome to Victory."
Yep.
Yep. And
Yep.
the exclamation point is different from the periods, obviously. Is that sarcasm?
No.
No. Okay. Just
No.
making sure. Just making sure everything's okay.
No.
Um, it does feel like for me, whenever I was listening to it, obviously the last track, it does feel like the end credits kind of song. Like it feels like, happy ending. That's what it kind of is. What is it for you, Andrew?
So for that song, that one's actually really interesting. I remember I wrote in the SoundCloud bio, like you can't see it unless you
Hmm.
listen to it on SoundCloud, but in the bio I was talking about Undertale, but that song I actually sampled Undertale. Uh, the last Undertale song, like in once you
Gotcha.
beat the game, the song that plays, that's the one that I
Hmm.
sampled. Uh, and no, that one's pretty special to me. The Undertale is a great game, probably my favorite
Yeah.
video game. Um,
So this
but
is
it's
video game
probably
music.
that one is. That one
Yes.
is. That one.
Okay.
That one is. The rest of them, no way.
Nope.
But
Okay.
yeah, that one's really special to me. I like that one.
Yeah. Well, there it is, guys. There's the album. Do you have any more things you want to say about it, or anything that's special to you with any of the tracks? I just think it's really cool just to see someone I know uh, put out things that they care about. That's always cool.
Yeah, I mean, it took a lot of work, a lot of dedication.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun making it and everything, and I hope that people like it. Yeah,
Yeah. Is this something you think you're going to continue in the future?
absolutely. I'm actually already
Hmm.
working on another
There
project.
you go. That's awesome, man. That's really neat stuff. When did you like first get into music?
Um, Actually, probably like middle school. Middle
Hmm.
school, I played in the band. I played a saxophone. In middle
Yeah.
school, I was saucy. I had some solos. I
Little
was dirty at the
saxophone?
sax.
Little
Yeah,
Kenny G stuff?
yeah. And then I think I was making like rap beats and stuff, and I was in choir in high school when I knew you.
Yeah.
So I've just been kind of always doing it.
I
And
remember
then
that was with Erica, right?
the
Yeah,
classic,
dude,
the
man.
best, the best Kubasaki staff member.
So
She's
many
so
good
bad.
memories. Dude, Sammy, I'll never forget, man. I
Sammy
walked
blundered, dude. Sammy blundered. He fumbled the bag.
Dude, she was obsessed with him. We walked into her classroom one time and he talked to her about an assignment. And when he was leaving, she's like, "Bye, Sammy, love you." She said that out loud to this man. And I was standing there with just like my jaw on the floor. And he was like so casual. He's like, "Oh, it's whatever. It's just Erica. She just says that." I'm like,
Bro,
"No, do you know
bro,
what you got
no
here?
way,
No,
no
she
way,
doesn't just say
no.
that to anybody." But I
Yeah, I've
never
never
saw
said
her
that to
say
me.
that to her husband, bro. Like he would
I
sub
would
there sometimes.
kill
Yeah.
to have her say that to me.
I think she got moved somewhere else though. I don't know where she is right now.
She's in like Dubai or something. It's like it's some weird ass place that she's teaching.
Yeah, because she popped up on Instagram. I followed her. I don't really like follow that closely. Like I didn't look at the locations or anything. I guess I could pull it up for people. How much do we care? Should we stalk her?
I mean, I'm down.
Wait, let me see. Oh man, I don't follow her on this account. I'd have to switch. Can you pull her up right now? It's kind of
Uh,
creepy.
Here,
I
let's
don't think
look.
I've ever done this before. I can't have dead here air here. Guys, yeah, she was just a really prominent figure in our lives. When you talk about a good mentor, a good MILF, I mean mentor, it's just really important to have someone who can guide you as a teacher, but also your extracurriculars. And I mean extracurriculars like choir, Spanish outside of the classroom as well. She was always open to having her students come by after class, after school. And I don't know. There's always really good reviews on her class. I never had her personally, but I only heard great things about Miss Erica Wooten. Anything to
I
add, Andrew?
cannot find it. I can't find
You
it.
can't find her. We can't find where she is. I tried my best
Uh,
there.
yeah. Well,
It is. It was funny, just like the stunning contrast between her and who was the other Spanish teacher? Menendez. Did you ever have her?
yeah, I did
You
have Miss
did?
Menendez.
Yeah.
Dude, I have a crazy story about Miss
You
Menendez,
have
dude.
Menendez story? Let's go.
Okay. So basically, so I was in Spanish 2, okay?
Hmm.
First of all, if you have no idea what the vibe for this class is, let me tell you who I was sharing this class with. It was me,
Okay.
Ralph, Max,
Bro, I need Ralph on the pod. Sorry, I just
and
need to throw that
Zoe.
out there. And Zoe.
Ralph, Max, Zoe, and me.
Okay.
Okay. So Miss Menendez is doing the same boring ass class. Me and Ralph sit in the front because she moved us there. She was like, no
Hmm.
chance. Like, you guys need to sit in the front. So we're just bored. I found this quarter on the ground and I
Okay.
threw it at the window. And I threw it at the window and make like a big noise. And then she was like, "What was that?" And we got her ass, bro. We got her ass, and you know we got her ass. We were like, "I think that fell from the ceiling." And she was like, "Really? Really?
Really?
Really? Ah, huh. It's weird." Like, yeah, dumbass. Like, yeah, it's fucking weird.
That's great. Um, yeah, Ralph is a handful, man. I couldn't imagine like having to be a high school teacher and seeing Ralph Rivera walk into your classroom. Like the heart must just sink, right?
Every teacher is praying, just let me not get Ralph.
Keep him off my roster. He's a great guy. He's really funny. He cracks me
Oh,
up.
I love
I'm just from like a teacher's perspective, like
Ralph. Hmm.
that's gotta be tough for sure. I took
Oh man,
Japanese with Nick, and I think I had a pretty similar vibe to that class. Any class with Nick, he's just dude. Oh my god,
was
how's
Miss
he doing? Have you
Zababush
talked to
or
him? Yeah,
yeah?
Zobab and Tor
He's he's
out of boot
he's
camp.
at some school right
Yeah,
now for the military. Yeah, he told me. I think actually MCT. Yeah, he's an MCT.
there you go.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I want to have him on the pod because I always like doing post boot camp podcasts. So if he's interested, I don't know. I sent him a snap. We'll see. I think that'd be pretty cool. Hopefully he's
that
doing
would
all
be.
right. Yeah. Um. Anyways, yeah, he would be flirting with so many girls in Tor's class all the time. Like he'd always have his arm around these girls, like
Yeah,
just
dude.
sitting on the
Yeah, dude.
floor in the corner.
Yep.
I'd be like, What are you doing?" It wouldn't even be the same girl every day, and the girl would be in the class, like each of them. He did not care. He was
He'd switch
trying
it
to.
up sometimes. You
He
know, he
would
wants some variety.
yeah, the variety pack in Mr. Tour's class. And Mr. Tour would walk by, see his arm around this girl's shoulder, sitting in the corner of the room, just hand them each an assignment and then walk away. Tour did not give up.
Dude, Thor didn't give a.
I was telling someone the story the other day about Tour on the Jumbotron. And just like that's just one of my favorite stories of all time.
Yo,
This is an
yo.
all-time moment for me.
Dude, he always just sat
Yeah.
like that.
And his
If he came
he
up
always
to me,
said
he's just like, uh,
he never had much to say either. Like you would ask him a question, and he didn't care. Like you tell him you're missing practice, did not care. He'd be like, okay,
yeah. It was like,
never a follow up.
if Thor, my mom died.
Exactly. You could drop some devastating news, and he would just be like, all right, all right.
See you upon your return.
Yeah, and then he'll make a Facebook post saying you weren't at practice. Like,
10 pulls for
yeah.
the chunk.
Oh, he would call out Nick all the time, man. I remember whenever we were doing it was literally optional workouts at the gym, just like it, whatever it was, not Reisner, but the gym on Foster. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And like totally optional. I wouldn't go half the time, obviously. And then like if Nick didn't go one day, Tor would make a Facebook post to all the parents, for everyone to see, saying Nick Patton has not been in the gym today. I don't know what it was with him and Nick, but there's a special bond, I guess, was formed.
Some kind of love there between them.
Oh yeah,
Maybe it was
oh yeah.
one-sided. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. For sure. I wonder how he's doing these days. I think someone told me he's not coaching anymore. Was that Kai
Oh, I
Grubbs?
doubt
Maybe.
it. Probably. I don't know. Like, is he even there? Is he even still teaching? I
I
knew
just
that
I
he
have a
wasn't gonna coach, but
I have a hard time imagining him like just doing Japanese because he didn't really care about teaching Japanese. he,
no,
he
no,
was he was
no,
only there for baseball. So the fact that he's like
man.
not coaching baseball, like I don't know how his brain works. Like that's one of the great mysteries to me. Is just like what he thinks about throughout the day. Like
Yeah.
one of the most interesting men.
I mean, yeah, he's truly built different.
I remember he'd get back from like a lift and he'd just always have his arms up in class. Like he just couldn't put his arms down. Like he'd be tight, his arms would just
He
always
barely
be
fit
out.
through the damn doorway, man. Like, dude's huge.
Yeah. Big Ed. Did I ever tell you the story? I went to the bathroom once during Japanese class. I was signing out on his little clipboard, and Coach Toor pops up. This is my freshman year, and he goes, "Oh, I got to go too." He says that out loud. I'm like, "This is a little weird." So I go to the bathroom, and I get to my spot in the urinal on the left, and Coach Shore comes around to me on the right one. So we're right next to each other. There's only two, so it's not weird. Like it's not like there was any other options. And Coach
Yeah,
Shore's not going in the stall to pee, first of all. Like that's just not in his DNA.
yeah,
And dude,
yeah.
I was so scared. I could not piss. Like I couldn't go. Nothing came out. Nothing came out.
You're
I'm just sitting
petrified, dude.
petrified because I'm like my like just like next to like just in the grand scheme of the universe, like the gravity of his versus mine and just like him standing there and like there's just like I've never felt so little, and I'm not like I wasn't like short at the time, like we're probably about the same height. I felt so minuscule next
It's
to
the
that man.
dominance that just
Yes.
spreads out of
Whenever
tours.
you hear him unzip his pants, like it just echoes throughout the
Catastrophic.
hallways of Kubasaki. Like, it's just a shockwave.
Nah, dude,
And
that's Peterson, dude.
for sure. That man was like 6'7", bald. You know that's how they're built right
Yeah.
there.
Hmm.
Anyways, I couldn't go. He goes, he finishes, zips up, flushes, and I'm like, shit, like I can't just stand here. Like he'll think I got like issues. So I just flushed too. I didn't go. I still have to go to the bathroom. So I don't even go. And then we just go, we wash our hands together. He asked me some questions about baseball, and then we go back to class. And I still had to piss so bad. The were you there? No, it was my freshman year. Like a bunch of guys came in the school and like destroyed the school. I mean, just ransacked the place. Like just like tore books off the shelves, flipped shit around. It was like because they had like the senior prank and like there was a key to the school that like the seniors got every year. And
Oh my
you
god.
haven't heard about this?
No.
No, they just like went through like classroom to classroom and just like they fucked shit up, man. Like it was bad. And the principal at the time, Miss Butler, she comes in and the day afterwards and she's like, if I could have all those seniors back, I would take all their diplomas away from them because none of them deserve it. I'm like, well, that's a little bit of exaggeration. And what happens is they make all the freshmen clean up the classrooms pretty much. They don't, there's no
Damn.
one else to do it, so they make us all clean it up. And we get to Coach Tor's room. It's vacuumed. It's just like pristine. Like this shit looks like they wiped down in there, and they left him like some bikini like baseball cards, like bikini model
What the
baseball cards on his desk. Yeah, very
what the
nice of
fuck?
them. So he has a really strong connection with the students, and he just makes them really likable, I guess. That was like one of those
Yeah,
things. It's like if you're good to your students, they'll back you up. Not that you
I
should
mean,
vandalism is okay, but I don't
like you don't fuck with Tour, and if you don't fuck with Tour, you're chilling.
know. Yeah, Andrew, give me some content here. Come on, give it some. Give me the Torah story.
Oh man, Tour story. I remember like way back, or not actually way back. It was like probably my sophomore year. I
Hmm.
remember. I remember. What? Oh man, do I want to tell this story?
Go,
I
I do,
remember
dude. Let's go.
the day after I lost my virginity, I was telling everyone about it. And I remember Tor overheard me, and he was like, "Who'd you lose it to, George?" And I was like, "I wish, I wish." Yo, he like overheard me, and it was just like so random, and I was like, "What?"
Oh my god. Was it? When was that? Not that
my
I
my
need
senior
like
year, I don't know.
specifics.
It
Your
was at
sophomore year. Oh,
practice.
your
It was
sophomore
a
year. Your
Saturday.
sophomore
It
year.
was a Saturday morning practice, and I was just
Yeah.
like, I was just groggy, and then Toor just comes around, and starts talking to me about my virginity and my lack of having it, and he's just like, talking his shit. Yeah, and
He
I
thinks he's
wasn't fun.
hilarious, man. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm trying to think if there's any like there's just some good ass tour stories. I
Toor
just him being like the third base coach, just standing there, hands on the hips, shaking his head. He wouldn't even bother giving fake signs. Sometimes he would just be like,
yeah.
just like, I'm not here. He'd just be standing there flexing for like 15 minutes.
Dude, I'd look over at him at like third base when I'd be on like first, and then he'd just be like standing there with like his hands to his side, and it's just like, yeah, he's just like nod at me slightly. I just be like, come on, man, like,
But then Sammy comes up and he's like, like he's going off,
yeah,
like, give him
yeah.
all
He
the
starts
signs and
he
shit.
starts try harding.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I'm gonna give this bitch some pulls.
Or Nick, exactly. Like he'd intentionally give Nick some like tough signs, and exactly. I got a preposterous predicament. Would you rather question for you? All right, Andrew.
Hit
I
me
do
with it.
these once a show, pretty much. I've used this one before, but I think it'd be really good for you because I think you'd have a good take on it. All right. And remember,
Okay.
there's people at home who really need your expert advice on this, so don't let them down. All right. Would you rather have two very average children, or have one child that that's a professional athlete and the other one is illiterate?
Oh, oh, yo. Hmm.
Hmm.
Damn. That's
Whoa,
hard.
whoa, whoa, whoa. I, I've had to make this clarification before. When I say illiterate, it's not like they're weird, right? Like you can be like illiterate and pretty chill guy.
Yeah.
You can.
So he's just illiterate. There's
Yeah.
no extra. Okay.
No reading or writing.
I'd probably pick the second one. Pro
The one
athlete
and
and
one.
yeah, because then you could get your kid to pay for the other kid's literacy classes or some shit.
No. He's
He'd have bad
permanently
bread.
illiterate. There's
Permanently. No shot.
Yes. There's
They're not the
no
same
wait.
one. They're separate kids.
Yes. Wait. What are you talking about?
Oh shit. Damn, that's
One
fucked.
professional athlete, one illiterate. Yeah, they're different people.
I'd probably pick the first one then, because
Two
like,
average, double
yeah,
average.
probably have two average, because it feels unethical to like forsake my like hypothetical child to just being illiterate.
Whoa. You are not forsaken just because you're literate. Like you can still have hopes, dreams, desires, careers, voting rights, and whatnot.
But I'm forsaking my child to be illiterate. You know what I'm saying?
You are making that
Like,
decision, yes, deliberately.
yeah, that's pretty fucked. I'd have to say two average.
But the professional athlete, you could cash in on your son's athleticism. That's a
Fuck
big
that, man.
check. That's a big
Fuck that
check.
dude. No, mm-mm.
The kid could
I
be
don't think my
illiterate, but chilling in a hot tub every day.
if my kid. What if my athlete son, like, or daughter or whatever? Fuck, I don't even know, bro. What if my athlete like child
Hmm.
just, like, found out that I was the one who made him a pro athlete, and I was also the one to make his other make my other child fucking illiterate. What if he found that out? You think I'm getting money?
Yes, you're the reason he is what he is.
Actually, that's facts.
That is facts.
You could probably fight that in court. Honestly, you could probably win.
I go one and one every day of the week. Give me one of each.
Really?
It's almost like it's like parenting on like hard difficulty, you know? It's like you
Oh,
want
it's
that
like
challenge.
extremes.
Yeah, like you don't want it to be too easy. You got the one that's like easy difficulty, and the other one's, what do we call it? Expert, hardcore.
Impossible.
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 Yeah.
Illiterate.
Hmm. It's a true test of my ability.
Interesting. Yeah. Definitely no selfish reasons behind that.
What?
Yeah.
No,
Like,
I
you
just
did
want to
not
see
just
if I'm
tell me that
capable.
I should pick the other one because I can cash in a fat check. That was one of your reasonings. You're telling me that's not selfish?
Yeah, you could invest that money into your grandchildren who will likely be average. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's I appreciate your take. That's the preposterous predicament.
Well, that's
Thank
what
you
I'm
for
here
settling it. Much appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm here for.
Anyways, Andrew, I really appreciate you doing this, man. Make sure everyone go check out his album that's out now, Spotify, Apple Music. You said SoundCloud as well.
Yeah, actually, all platforms.
Gotcha. So make sure to send me those links. I'll put them in the description. Everyone go check him out. Follow, subscribe, like, 5 stars, whatever you have to do to blow him up. And can I follow you on Instagram as well?
Yeah, Bridges
Yes.
_XZ.
Bridges_XZ. There you go, guys.
.XZ? I don't remember.
You don't.
Anyways,
Oh,
yeah.
whatever. We'll figure it out. We'll get it settled.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, man. Until next time, I'm sure we'll see you back on here at some point. I really appreciate you doing this, and good luck going forward, my man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.